So we've briefly talked about the different types of vaccines, but now we're going to link together again the concepts of memory cells and how vaccines actually work. So again, this doesn't have its own dot point, but you are asked direct questions about the way that a vaccine works. It's kind of an application of what you do in humoral immunity. So what we're going to do in class is I'm going to give you these cards, and if you've watched this video prior to that, you will probably be able to sort these a bit faster. So we're going to sort these into order. There are 3 headings. You've got memory cell formation, primary exposure to vaccine, and secondary exposure to real pathogen. And then we're going to order them out on the table, and then we'll write in our notes. So these are the answers, and these are the answers that are in your notes. So the first thing that you've got to have is our primary exposure to the vaccine. So the vaccine is administered, and the immune system recognises the pathogen or the injection or what's been injected or what has been injected as non-self. Okay, so that's the very first thing, is our body has to recognize it as non-self. It'll then get engulfed and presented by an APC. Okay, after that, it's going to stimulate a humoral response. So that means a T helper is going to stimulate B plasma and B memory cells. So even though you don't get symptoms because the vaccine, the pathogen that you've been injected with isn't real or isn't live, you still get these memory B cells. That's great. Second exposure, you get the same antigen. So this is probably a big key here. It's the same antigen. And what you get is a faster and greater number. A faster and greater number, or a faster and larger number of antibodies, okay? Not just faster and greater number. You need to tell me what it's of. So what it's of is it's of antibodies. Now what they do is they do our SNAP. They do the complement protein, they activate complement proteins, they neutralize, they agglutinate, and they precipitate. Okay, and then we get more as well. Every time we get exposed, we get more memory B cells, which means even the next time is we get more and more exposure. And so that's where we see this graph again. So previously I talked about this as being your graph for natural immunity. Now it's the same graph, but it's for a vaccine. So you've got your initial exposure, you've got, that's initial exposure to the foreign or the non-self antigen. And then you get this secondary exposure and you get this faster and greater production of antibodies. Yeah. And so that is, in a nutshell, what it is, what a vaccine does in your body.